Why is the iPhone so expensive? What makes the iPhone so expensive? It was Steve Jobs' primary ambition to develop Apple as a brand in the market, not as a little brand, but as a globally recognized and respected brand. And in accordance with this trend, Apple has provided consumers with positive experiences from the very beginning of their journey with the company. Yes, it is true that their items are often highly pricey, but there is no doubt that clients will not grumble if they get a decent deal on a high-quality product. If you look into the reasons why the iPhone is so costly, you will discover a plethora of them. I am attempting to highlight a few of the most important ones in a nutshell. Software and hardware. Android is the operating system that the majority of us utilize. In the first instance, purchasing a new Android phone from any manufacturer will be a very excellent investment. The phone's speed, camera, and general performance are all excellent in every way. However, as long as you continue to use the phone, the performance quality will continue to deteriorate. Most phones become sluggish after 6 to 7 months, and the performance is no longer accessible as it was before. When you reset your computer, it becomes as good as new and begins to function properly. But how many days can you get away with such a reset? This is the difference between Apple's products. As long as there is no physical damage, you will receive the same performance as if you purchased an Apple phone today. This is due to the fact that Apple employs high-quality materials in their hardware, and that their hardware and software combinations are among the finest available. Security. One of the primary reasons why Apple goods are so popular and the iPhone is so pricey is due to the high level of security they provide. Apple maintains a high level of security in all of its products, which has won the company the confidence of its consumers. When it comes to data security, who wouldn't want their information to be protected? The iPhone is often seen in the hands of famous celebrities and superstars as a result. If ordinary folks like you and me are so worried about cybersecurity, imagine what superstars such as Madonna and Jennifer Lopez could think. In accordance with research, Apple has always introduced something new since its foundation, and has not followed the pattern of replicating the work of 10 other firms. The history of the reverse technology sector demonstrates that other firms have sometimes replicated Apple's innovations. No one could have anticipated that a notch would be present on a smartphone only a few years ago, and even when Apple initially debuted the notch, there was a great deal of debate and controversy around it. However, after a few months, it was discovered that every other company had copied the design of Apple's notch display and was producing phones with the same notch display. This is still going on today, and the phone is no longer visible because of the lack of a notch display. Every year, this is how Apple presents something new to the world. Because of this, many look forward to attending Apple lectures throughout the year. The fact that Apple has always been on a distinct route since its inception is worth noting, since Apple has failed to provide any fresh shocks in that regard after the death of Steve Jobs. Yes, you read it correctly, one of the reasons why all iPhone or Apple goods are pricey is now a desire to be the center of attention. Apple has taken over the market in such a manner that even its most ardent supporters are beginning to lose sight of the bigger picture. There is a rivalry to see who has the most up-to-date version of Apple's software, so whether the company introduces excellent or awful products, people will shut their eyes and purchase them. Consider the situation in our country. Those who own an iPhone are considered to be wealthy. Because of all of these factors, Apple has grown into a $1 trillion corporation, yet the price of its goods has stayed as high as it has always been. For all of these reasons, the iPhone continues to be prohibitively costly. The CPU cores on an iPhone are significantly reduced. However, because of its high number of CPU cores, it is able to provide greater JavaScript performance than Chrome for Android. An iPhone has less RAM than a computer. However, since it relies on reference counting rather than trash collection, discarded items are removed immediately rather than accumulating in free space until the next collection cycle is completed. The camera sensor in an iPhone is of lesser resolution than that of a DSLR. However, since the processing on that camera is so finely tuned, thanks to unique hardware and meticulously crafted software, the photographs it generates are noticeably better looking. The battery life of an iPhone is significantly reduced. The iPhone, on the other hand, has had every component of it examined, evaluated, profiled, and optimized precisely for the piece of hardware on which it will operate. This includes everything from the silicon to the software. The designers kept one eye on the big picture while they worked on the casing, the circuit board, the motion sensor, the CPU, the screen driver, the array implementation, the video decoder, and the user interface physics engine. Instead of sucking down the enormous battery of another phone, the iPhone sips from the smaller battery of the iPhone. None of these characteristics are listed on spec sheets. Certain characteristics are evident in benchmarks. For example, in terms of single-core CPU speed, this year's Android phones are competitive with last year's iPhones. However, it is in the places where it matters that they truly stand out, in your hand and in your pocket.